Going to therapy or being able to talk to someone is a great resource, but it isn't always practical. It isn't always an opportunity for you to go. And now, unless you can afford like after hours therapy sessions, it's difficult to get the help that you need within the session times that you have. Because most of the time, your session is, let's say, on a Friday. So what are you doing from Saturday to Thursday? Or maybe your sessions are even longer than that. What are you doing in between those sessions? Now, that's why it is important to have your own self-coping strategies. Now, I know that your therapist or counselor, if you have one, is going to give you some ideas of what to do. But you need to build some that are your own. You need to build some that you can say, okay, these are the things that I need to do for myself. And when my session comes up or when I'm ready to talk again, that's what I can do to unfold that. But you really have to be responsible and take control of your life. A therapist or a counselor only has so much tools in their toolbox. Sometimes you really have to go out and know for yourself. You have to go out and figure out what's going to work for you, what's going to help you to get to that other side of your PTSD, the other side of your triggers, your traumatic experiences, your negative thinking. What's going to get you to that other side and help you to begin to create that life that you truly want. Now, there are many resources out there, and the best thing to do is to find the ones that work best for you. Now, I'm going to give you 4 that I've found that really have worked for me, and they still work for me to this day, because like I've said, you don't ever really lose your PTSD disorder. You kind of just put it on the back burner some days, and you're able to live life fully and live life abundantly again. But one day it might pop up, and these resources will be good to have. And, they're not only good for PTSD recovery. These resources will help you live a fulfilled life, to learn about how to be energetic again, how to take care of yourself, how to push yourself forward to that next level that you're wanting to go despite having symptoms. Now, every day you have the opportunity to triumph over an emotion or a trigger. You have the opportunity to do that. Some battles you'll win and some battles you won't. But each time you'll get an opportunity to learn more about you. Adjust your toolbox, your mindset toolbox, and be more purposeful on life every day. And that's what it's all about, right? You're always just trying to get better than you were yesterday. And when you can get to that point in your life and say, look, I had a good day yesterday, and I'm going to have a better day today. And that's all that matters. So when we dive into today's teaching, I really want to show you all these different things that you can begin to do to create that life that you truly and absolutely deserve and want. So first things first, educate yourself. What's going on in your life? What's happening? Why are you feeling these symptoms that you're feeling? Learn about your own personal triggers, right? Like I've said to you before, and I'll say it over and over again, PTSD is a confusion state of the mind. Your mind doesn't know what's going on. So you have to begin to go, okay, why does it not know what's going on? What's happening? What are the things in my life? And just understanding what PTSD can be as simple as that. When you learn to understand what PTSD is, you can say, okay, I know that it's a confusion state. I know that when I begin to rebuild my life, each thing is going to teach me something. And when you learn how it affects your brain, how it affects your mind, how it affects your emotions and your actions, this is the whole picture. Now, I call the mindset, the emotion, your actions, your life's operating system, because that's how our lives operate. They operate through one of those 3 things, and they also operate through all 3 things to build your life as a whole. Now, that's a completely different topic, so let's get on with this one. The knowledge that you have can build that sense of experience and empower you to take control of your healing process. It is your responsibility to take your life forward. You know what? Let's say you go to a therapist, you go to counseling. They're going to give you ideas. They're going to give you things to do. But it's your responsibility to do them. It's your responsibility to push through those times that you really don't feel like doing that exercise that your counselor gave you. You don't feel like doing that exercise that you know is going to push you to that next level. And this is how your life is your responsibility. We all have a personal choice to choose if we want to take our life forward or if we want to stay stuck in our suffering. There's nothing I can do except for encourage you and say, look, you are worth it. You can make it to the other side of this painful time. You can make it to the other side of this life that's frustrating you. But it's your responsibility. It's up to you to take the actions. It's up to you to rewrite your mind. It's up to you to attach the right emotions to it to create that life that you want. You're not defined by your trauma. You're defined by how you rise above it. That's what you're defined by. You create the definition of your life. Don't let a situation or a circumstance create that definition for you. Say, look, I went through an experience and I get that, but it's time for me to move forward. It's time for me to set the tone for my life and become that person I truly want to be. But I need to take care of myself. I need to say, okay, what can I do to be more self-loving, to forgive myself, to practice self-care? What are some activities that you can do to promote your physical, emotional, and mental well-being? Every day you have an opportunity to take that area to the next level. You have an opportunity to say, okay, look, yesterday was rough. And we're all going to have those rough days. But today, it's a new opportunity. I'm not going to let yesterday's challenges follow me into today. So, what are some regular activities that I can do to engage physical exercise? Maybe maintain a healthy diet. Maybe I'm going to really practice on my sleep. Avoid substances that can worsen my symptoms, make them worse. Things like alcohol, drugs. These things can enhance how you're feeling, right? Someone who is in a place of anger because of their past traumatic experience, you give them some alcohol, that anger is going to be above. So maybe you need to say, okay, look, I need to take some time. I need to just move forward. Drink more water, drink more protein, whatever it is, right? But it's your responsibility. You know you. And that's what it all comes down to. You know how you want to live your life. What about some activities that you could do to really practice this self-care that bring joy and relaxation to your life? What are some hobbies that you used to love to do prior to going through your traumatic experience that you've now stopped? Maybe you love going out in nature, going for walks. Maybe you want to practice creative outlets. You know, I enjoy woodworking. That was one thing that always allowed me to create that freedom in my life, to build things, right? To build things in my life. Now I'm creative building courses. That's what I enjoy doing now. And PDFs and all these different things to assist you guys and assist me as well, because I use everything I give to you. The journey of healing begins with self-compassion and acceptance. Know, my friends, that what you went through is done and over. You've gone through it. Arise above it. Say, look, I gained strength from going through that. I was able to make it through that traumatic experience that unfortunately some people don't make it through. And, you know, this is a reminder of how strong you truly are. Now you have to find some coping strategies, because you are going to be hit with triggers. You are going to be hit with symptoms between your sessions, symptoms in your life. Maybe day to day you hit some symptoms and these triggers. But what are you going to do? What you need to first do is you need to explore and experiment with various coping strategies and find that works for you. Now, I wanted to add a PDF at the bottom, and it's very simple. It's just a checklist, and what it is, it's a management tool is what I call it, and it helps you say, okay, when I have this trigger, I will do this. And it's a very quick, so that if you can pre-plan it, it's a lot easier than when it hits you, you're like, oh my gosh, you know, this noise around me is causing me to get angry, or my kids are screaming right now, I'm causing me to get mad. right? When you know that's a trigger for you, you can say, okay, I have my cheat sheet here. And I say, okay, when I get angry and frustrated because of what's going on around me, I will go for a walk. I will separate myself from the situation. I will go for a walk and I'll reset and come back in a different place. Sometimes you need to go for an hour, right? Whatever it takes for you. But if you have those strategies, you don't get into that fight mode or flight mode because you know what to do. And that's what I want to give you, my friend. Right? Maybe the strategies are like deep breathing exercises, grounding techniques, journaling, art therapy, listening to calming music, engaging activities that'll make you feel present and connected in the moment. Those are a few little suggestions that I have. What works for you is what's going to matter. But when you can find that and say, okay, look, I know where to transform. I know where I need to make changes in my life. Then I'm going to begin to build that. It's up to you, my friends. It's up to you to take that life back and to have the responsibility within yourself. And a lot of things that happen are going to be negative, right? You're going to have negative thoughts. You're going to have negative beliefs come through your mind from what you've been through. My friend, you need to challenge them. Are they really true? Most of the time we go through situations in life where we're like, well, what if this happens? What if works both ways? What if up is what I heard someone say. Well, what if, I get into a car accident driving to work? Well, what if you don't and you make it there very safely? Right? We always think about those negative things because we're protecting ourselves from pain. What if up? Always put yourself in a positive state by saying, look, what if this is going to happen? What if you win $1 million tomorrow? Right? What if, I don't know, in your life it'll be different. What if you attack a trigger that you have, that you've had for so many years? You find a coping strategy that works for you. And what if you never have that trigger again? What if up? You don't want to be like, I'm going to feel this again tomorrow. I have to fight through it. What if you don't? Be on purpose with your life, my friends. Work on challenging and reframing the thoughts that you have. Because negative thoughts kind of distort our personal beliefs and they attack us and stop us from moving into that next phase of our lives. And when we can control each phase and say, look, I'm going through a phase right now. That's all you're going through, my friends. You're going through a phase. It's going to end if you build on it. But if you don't, I'm sorry to say it, my friend, you're going to be stuck in this place because you're not taking the responsibility. You're not making the changes in your life. So work on challenging these negative thoughts, reframing them into something more positive, and creating that life that you truly want. Those negative thoughts that you have can be transformed into positive ones. I've done it, and there's been thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people in this world who've done it. This is the first time you've gone through this, and I understand that. But there is a way to get over it, and you have to find that way that works for you. PTSD may be a part of your story, but it's not the ending. It's not the ending. It's not the period to your story. It's just a chapter. And you begin to write your own narrative of resilience. See it as a chapter. See it as something that is going to come to an end. And this next chapter of your life is going to be so absolutely amazing that you're going to be wondering what took you so long to get there. I hope this gave you some insight. I hope this gave you some inspiration to really find some of those coping strategies that work best for you. Don't forget to download the PDF and begin to create your management tool so that you know how to react when situations come into your life. And as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.